everybody and welcome back to Granya's Kitchen. And today, or this evening, I am going to be making some stuffed meatballs. So this is a recipe that I saw on the Pinch and Nom website. Fabulous website, to be honest with you. Gorgeous, gorgeous recipes there by those two ladies. So this isn't the exact Pinch and Nom one now. I kind of make things up as I go along, but the kind of the inspiration from it came from there. So what I've got is about a kilo of mince. I'm going to be making enough for kind of 2 days here. So you've got your mince there. What I am going to add to my mince is some dried oregano. So again, you know me, quantities don't matter. So we don't worry too much about that stuff. We're going to add some onion granules. I always find this is nice, just gives the flavour to the meatballs as opposed to chopping up an onion. The other thing I'm going to add is some grated butternut squash. So this is kind of the top half of the butternut squash, about half of one, I guess. Now I finely grated this, okay? So it's kind of the fine end of it because I don't want big lumps of butternut squash. But what this does is it adds kind of moisture to the meatballs. It kind of stops them from drying out so much. So just a little bit, you won't even taste it within them, but it just stops it from drying out. I'm going to add some fresh parsley as well. Again, dry parsley is fine, rosemary, add whatever you want. It really is anything you want in terms of meatballs. Then obviously the seasoning. So we've got loads of pepper going in there, lots and lots, because again I'm making a large quantity of these. And then I'm adding some salt as well. And just to bind this then, I'm going to add simply the yolk of an egg. You can add the full egg if you want, really doesn't matter. All we're doing here is a little bit of binding, but I'm just going to add the yolk in there. I will keep that egg white because I will use that later on. And then this is just getting down and dirty. You're going to combine all of these ingredients with your hand. So all of those ingredients you can see now are beautifully evenly combined, so we get the same kind of flavour in each one. And then we're going to make, or just cut up what's going to go in the middle. So our kind of stuffed meatballs, they're going to be stuffed with some mozzarella, okay? This is the bag of mozzarella that you get, so I've drained the fluid off. So it's a mozzarella ball essentially, and you're just going to cut this up. And you're just going to make little pieces to put inside the meatballs. Again, you don't want a huge amount, it's just to have a little bit coming out. So there's my mozzarella. And then we make the meatballs. So couldn't be simpler. This is a great one to do with kids as well. If you've got kids at home, do you know, it's something they love getting their hands dirty. They love playing with food. So I've got a bit of mince there, and I just pop a little bit of cheese into the middle, and then I fold that meatball around it. Could not be simpler. So again, approximately the same amount, flatten it out, a little bit of cheese, pop the cheese in, and then combine it like that. Easy peasy, and such fun, such a thing to do with kids as well. And there you go. Look at that. My Harry Potter time turner has been used again thanks to my gorgeous brother-in-law Sam. And there's all of my meatballs, okay? So again, remember, I'm making this for 2 days, so you would adjust the quantities accordingly. Now what I'm going to do is make a tomato sauce, okay? So a really simple, basic tomato sauce to go with this. And again, we have got some oregano, okay? Some dried oregano brings absolute gorgeous flavour there. So a nice amount of that to the bottom. Then I have got peeled plum tomatoes. Now, what's really important when making a tomato sauce is to actually use the peeled whole tomatoes rather than the pre-chopped tomatoes. Okay, because what you find is, if you make a lovely tomato sauce with the peeled tomatoes and you cook them whole, they develop a beautiful sweetness. If you break them up before you actually cook them, you lose that little bit of sweetness. So I'm going to cook these away in the oregano for about 20 minutes just. So my oregano and my gorgeous tomatoes there. I need something to stir it with. This will work. So just gonna give that a little mix, but again, I'm not breaking up the tomatoes. After the 20 minutes, when this is finished cooking, then I will break up the tomatoes. But during the cooking process, they are going to just cook beautifully there in their whole state. So again, remember guys, I'm making a large amount here, so I've used 4 cans of tomatoes and quite a bit of oregano. Up to you what you use. That's as simple as it is. You know what, you can add garlic, you can add, you know, mixed herbs, you can add rosemary, you can add whatever you want, but actually I like it to be just nice and simple. So this will be one of my favorite basic kind of tomato sauces. So we're going to let that cook there now for 20 minutes. So my tomato sauce, again, time turner guys, has been cooking here for about 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually move it to a smaller ring. And I am going to, while this is just finishing off its cooking, I am going to start browning off my meatballs. So again, any pot you want, casserole, you don't need to brown them off either if you don't want to. Okay, I just think they look nicer when they're a little bit browned off. So I'm going to take this pot to a little bit of heat. As I say, I'm going to just allow this to keep on cooking, and then you just add your meatballs. So into the bottom of the pan. What I like to do is brown them off in the pan, then I'm going to cook them in the oven, because what happens then is all those little bits, you know, when you're browning things off, the flavour, it's a bit like making gravy. The flavour gets into the pan itself. And what I'm going to do is, once these are browned off, I'm going to tip the tomato contents of the tomato sauce in over them and then just bung them into the oven like this. So pop these in here and let the browning process commence. Will we fit them all in? Will we? Will we? Oh, a bit of a tight squeeze, but that's all right. Come on, squeeze in there. Squeeze in. There we go. There we go. No need to do them in 2 lots when you can squeeze them in like that. Fantastic. So let the browning process commence. So as you can see, my meatballs are beautifully browning off here. And my tomato sauce is smelling absolutely gorgeous. Now, next thing for my tomato sauce, red wine vinegar. Good old slug of this. So there you go, nice big slug of red wine vinegar. Bearing in mind I've got 4 cans in here. And then your simple potato masher. What I'm going to do now is mash these tomatoes up, because now they've released their sweetness. Okay, so it's okay now to mash them, because I don't want big kind of bits of tomato as such, or whole tomatoes in my sauce. I want them to be mashed up. So you can see there beside me, hopefully you can, I've no lights on actually, and it is 7 o'clock, whoops. And this isn't even today's dinner, this is tomorrow and the next day's dinner. Gosh, my boys are starving here. So there we go. So I've mashed up that tomato sauce, and that is as simple as it is. Now I think you guys already know I'm a sucker for fresh basil. Okay, fresh basil goes into pretty much anything that I can. So I'm going to just scatter some fresh basil leaves here on top of my meatballs. You can put it into the sauce, put it on top of the meatballs. Really, actually, do you know what? Let's put some into the sauce as well. Woohoo! Sure, why not, people? Why not? Making it up as I go along. Don't forget, by the way, that myself and my beautiful colleague Gloria are going to be in Taste of Wicklow this year. So Sunday, I think it's the 30th of June. Anyway, the last Sunday in June, which is Sunday 2 weeks. We are going to be there, and we're going to be cooking up some delights for you. 2 o'clock, small tent. That is where you will find us. So do come along to that. It's going to be amazing. Taste of Wicklow is always an absolutely brilliant, beautiful experience. It truly, truly is. So there you go. I've got some fresh basil in there. Just shake it all around just because you can. Sure, why wouldn't you? And I've got my tomato sauce here, which I have mashed up and added some basil to, and added my red wine vinegar to. So I am now just going to pour this over my meatballs. And Look at that. So that is absolutely gorgeous. I like a lot of tomato sauce in my meatballs, okay? That might be too much for some people, but I just like it. Especially as well, you have to remember, this is not tonight's dinner. This is tomorrow night's and Wednesday night's dinner when I'm going to be in group. So this is what we're going to be having, myself and Hugh, over the next 2 nights. So I think that when you're going to be reheating something, it's nice to have that add a little bit of sauce in there in terms of that. The very final bit is a little bit of grated Parmesan over the top. My young son has just dived under the camera there. He's just nosedived under the camera there to get something from the oven. Garlic bread, if you must know, because he's starving because I'm cooking this instead of his dinner. Say hello, Nathan. Hi. So, little bit of Parmesan now on top. So, there you go. Again, you don't need to put the Parmesan on, totally up to you. But what I love about this is it'll just give it that little bit of kind of just sauciness and crunch, and it'll brown off a bit. So this is going to go into the oven for about 25 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes is all it's going to take to cook that. In the meantime, while that's cooking, I need to feed Hugh and Nathan, but I will use my time turner and I will hop back on here and I will show you the end result once we have had dinner. So there you go, stuffed meatballs, love it. And here we go, tomorrow's dinner. Would you look at that? Meatballs. Meatballs, meatballs, meatballs with an absolutely yummy, yummy sauce. Look. Shall I slice into one? Shall I? Yeah. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? My child and my husband are starving, but hey, I'm going to slice into a meatball. Ooh, it's hot, it's just out of the oven. See, look at that. Look at that with its yummy, yummy, gorgeous, scrummy tummy. So, stuffed meatballs, we will have these, myself and Hugh, over the next 2 nights. We'll have them with some boiled rice, some salad, absolutely gorgeous, extra sauce just to keep them good, and there you go. Listen guys, have a great week, and I will post something at the weekend. Take care, bye.